Good morning. Uh, just getting out of school here this morning. Fine Monday morning. Dropping the kids off and doing a short drive. Finally, it's arrived. I've got the software ready to be downloaded and installed for FSD 11, and I think it's on the third FSD 11.3. So, saw that on Twitter that a lot of people were receiving it, and was looking on the app last night. Didn't see it, but got in the car this morning and it was there. So it's fantastic. Though I won't be able to really get to test it out until later. I need to be able to let it sit and install, and also need to get a charge going. But maybe later this week, get a video up on version 11 to see how that's looking here in Jacksonville. In the meantime, I'll engage FSD to do the driving for me as we head back. Nothing really going on. I had a pretty good weekend. Um, I think I've mentioned before, I've recently taken on the task of being a kids coach for basketball. It's my daughter's team, so it's in that age of between 8 and 10. They categorize that group in this youth league as varsity. I think it's like a couple levels below the older kids. But it's really interesting. We had a good first game. We practiced, I think, 4 times together up until this point, with various teammates in and out, available for those practices since it was over spring break a little bit as well. And yeah, they really came together, did a good job. We got some good players, um, and what I really appreciated and got me to feel a level of satisfaction is that whenever they were able to make some good passes to each other and work together in order to score, as well as when they worked together as a team around defense, they just really, made me proud like that, showing that level of coordination as a team. And it's something that was just like what I was hoping to emphasize and get through to them, and it was nice to see that come together on the game. So they won their first game, which is nice. Always a nice bonus, when they put in the effort to see the results like that. And they were really excited. It was fun to see them. They just were thrilled with themselves. They felt good about themselves and just had a nice day. And I think that perpetuates, down the line for other things that they're working on in, whether it's schoolwork or other things. They see that hard work can result in positive outcomes, and that's a great lesson to pick up. And I think that's why it's so great to have kids involved in these activities, whether it's sports or some sort of other endeavor, like clubs, where they socialize, they learn how to coordinate with other people, they put in effort and work, where it requires like practice and learning, and then it comes together for an actual sort of test, like a game, and they see the results from those efforts. And win or lose, it's still going to be positive. In this event, it was nice to see a win. So we have another practice tonight, and we'll kind of refine some things, try to bring it together to the next level, so that we can continue to see success. But yeah, it was definitely fun for me. I think it's something that I like to continue to pursue and see where it goes, helping with that area. I was always looking for something to be helpful at, right? I used to volunteer growing up in high school and college, and even early on in my work career, but had gone away from it for various reasons, and happy to find something to get into again, where you're kind of giving back, volunteering, giving your time for something that's selfless, but at the same time, you do get something out of it, so it's not completely selfless. Nothing really is it? Yeah. It's a little overcast, a little cloudy today, but the temperatures are rising, getting warm again. So the renovation I have going on is proceeding. Finally clicking and finding individuals to help out where I need. But that's a task. Like, finding people that you haven't worked with before that you can start to build some trust and make sure they show up and do the job that they say they're going to do effectively. It's no small feat. And also to try to stay within a budget, not to overpay for things or, just kind of balance that quality versus price combination. So got a few other people to follow up with today to make sure we can coordinate and arrange that. As well as I do quite a bit of the work as well, and going to be doing some carpentry work around building a fence, doing some landscaping, and creating also building some flower beds along with a small deck with some privacy fencing or lattice type of thing that I put together, drawn up that I want to create. So there'll be some softscape and on some hardscaping too. Build like a paver pathway. Um, I don't know. I had to disengage. I didn't mean to. It was like taking the wheel to get ready to go. But anyways, so put it back on FSD here. Yeah, for some reason that light's I used to do it a little bit better. Like it's regressed a little bit on that light. Either become too cautionary or changes occur where it's waiting longer to even attempt to assess the situation for a turn. It's treating it more like a hard stop rather than a stop that has the option to go. Well, we'll see what version 11 looks like on that turn once I get that installed. But yeah, so other than that, do a small remodel in the bathroom where I take out the tub and shower wall and put in a new tub and tile the shower area with some new fixtures to help clean that up and kind of just freshen up the kitchen with a new paint job on the cabinets and some hardware, um, interior painting, um, and I mean that's pretty much it for the interior. And then exterior, do exterior painting, which I'm excited about. Get a fresh coat on there to look nice and clean, and then paint the base and paint the steps, and then put it all together, tie it up like a bow, and put it on the market for sale. See what we can get. Um, Take the proceeds and look to reinvest it in another property this time. I think this one will be going towards. Anyways, we'll see what happens. We'll take it one step at a time. And then once I can get through this project, I want to sit down and try to like explore this Chat GPT um, AI software. Really want to start playing with that interface and seeing what it's capable of doing. I was always felt like good. I've had a sense for potential business ideas, markets, especially in things that would be disrupted through technology, but either just wasn't in place in time to pursue it effectively, or didn't have the courage to step out of the safety net of a corporate job and go for it, or just simply finding the right partnerships or individuals with the skill sets to support that type of endeavor. A lot of it would require like software development work, and while I have a little bit of that in the background, I'm definitely not a software developer to the point where it would be needed. It would be just it would have required a lot of learning. The learning curve would have been steep and slowed the process down quite a bit. So, or just had to pay someone to do it. So those were just like limiting factors. But if the things I'm seeing and reading about ChatGPT and its effectiveness in supporting at least developers in their ability to build things quicker or more effectively, efficiently, then might be a game changer for those that are just out there with ideas. Get familiar with the product, see how it works, and start to put some things together. I mean, it's one idea I definitely want to pursue that I'm really interested in. I don't. I feel like it's a product that's just been begging to be disrupted, and I think there's a lot of people that have tried. So it says a lot about the moat that this industry has, the competitive advantages or competitive barriers that it placed in the industry to prevent I mean, what is otherwise like really, there were some really good efforts, I think, to go after this space, and I'm referring to real estate. The process of buying and selling your property, mostly on the residential side. I'm not sure how. I don't have enough experience on the commercial side to speak to that, but on the residential side, it just to me seems like there should be more. It doesn't seem like it's ever improved in its cost effectiveness. Like it's always had this structure of commissions and fees that are always just a percentage or a portion of the overall sell price. And that just seems like with all the technology and all the things that are out there today, it should have been. It doesn't have the same deflationary effect that every other industry has been able to see through technology and productivity gains in the market. Um, so, it just seems like there should be a way to streamline that process. And I get it. One reason I went and got my real estate license and joined became a realtor to be with a firm is to like try to see it from the other side. And I do see things differently through that experience. Um, Most people don't have the skill set to create a listing effectively or go through the process of um, preparing their home for sale in a way that's going to achieve a positive outcome in terms of time to sell or price of the home, that the price of the sale. There's contracts involved, there's legalities involved, there's regulations involved, and then there's just marketing and negotiation involved. So there's a lot of facets in the process. But if there's a easy way, a more like conversational way of approaching this, then I think people can sell their homes just as well as they do today with the current process. It would be something where it would need some guidance through how to prepare your home. Just basically going through those same things, but using a chatbot or an app to guide the seller through this process, or even the buyer. Like I was talking to somebody that's been in the business a bit longer and has a lot more experience and good insights, and I really value her input. And one thing we talked about is like really, the way to pursue this might be from the seller's agent side, where the people that are connected to the buyers, the ones that bring the buyers to the homes, do the showings or the viewings, and then help them through the process of buying a home. That would probably be a lower barrier, and because a lot of the effort is just getting the house on the market, the actual finding a home and then putting an offer in and following through the steps of completing a purchase agreement contract, that's a little bit more process driven and structured, and doesn't require as much um, of the soft touch stuff that is a little bit maybe harder to help a person through. So, but to do that, you have to have the inventory, right? You have to have homes that the person is able to look at. So either we scrape that off of public information somehow, just like other sites do. You've got the realtor.com, you've got Zillow, you've got just a myriad of things, because this is public information. There's a listing, it's out there, so we could scrape it, put it and make it available, and then help the buyer through that process without an agent. And that would be a cool first step. And then the second step would really, attack or go after the seller's portion of it, where we can even start that, because there is a number of it's a small group, like 5%, that are for sale by owner type individuals, and we could pursue that, allowing us to start to like at least iterate through that process, see what it's like to help with that, from the standpoint of creating a seller's disclosure, or identifying the home's best attributes for description or narrative to be written around it, or the photos. I mean, I think the photos are the big part, like how to either help someone through the photo process or connect them with a photographer in order to do this work. So and then once it's listed, or basically in this situation, put on the app available for others to view, um, percolated, um, propagated through the internet, get the most eyes on it. Then you have the showing, so you have to have a way for people to get in the home, and that's another kind of barrier. Like with realtors today, they have the boxes, the super boxes that they have, and the realtors have access to. Um, and actually, this realtor friend was actually saying that they're testing out making that available to others, since I didn't know this, but surprisingly, the real estate industry is quite fragmented in their technology. So they buy, or they basically outsource a lot of these things: the super box, the showing time, for scheduling, the um, really their main asset is the MLS, is the database of listings. These other things, they outsource the technology and partnerships. So if we can get into that super box as well, giving access to it through some way for the user to verify themselves, or through like a credit card or some sort of financial tie, um, that might work as well. But again, it's like a little bit of the trust issue, ability to circumvent scams and illegal activity through people taking advantage of access to homes. Have to find a way to work through that, because I know there's like a company called Open Door. They went through the process of trying to do it that way, where they were basically they were buying the homes. They were trying to buy the homes to get in front of this because they wanted to have inventory, but they also list the inventory that's not of homes that they own themselves, but the ones that they do own, they were able to go in and put basically a smart lock on the door, so that way that through the app you can get access to the home, give users the access to the home to go in and schedule their own viewing and do that. But apparently that had to be pulled back because they ran into a lot of trouble with fraudulent activity, squatters, and people getting into the home and taking things. So it does not really, there's definitely challenges to work through. How to get through that is going to be, I guess, why you you make the effort, is to try to find solutions for things that haven't been otherwise have, always been done a certain way. So that's something, to try to work on after I get this going. I mean, I could still start playing with it in the meantime, so I just need to get set up, um, and get going on that. I don't know where it is. It's 40. I'm just starting off really. I don't know if I did sleep well, but I am not feeling energetic. My energy level is a bit low. Really sore from the workout yesterday, though. Man, my legs are just sore in a good way. It feels good. I did some step back lunges along with some jumping exercises, along in addition to the general stuff I do around arms and chest and back. But legs are really feeling it today. Also, I haven't had coffee this morning. Need to maybe get that going to get my day started. And the amount of yard work and landscaping that gets done around here is just incredible to me. So many landscapers. Yeah, there's also another thing that Tesla FSD beta just doesn't have, that human characteristic, is identifying when someone's trying to get into a lane that's has a lot of traffic in it. It does not mind that at all. It just continues. So it just disregards anyone, and human nature. A lot of people want to be nice, so they slow down. They let the person in, going kind of off of normal traffic convention. I guess it is normal traffic convention, but no, it does not care. and also like for instance, another example is where you're driving down and there's a turn lane. Um, Normally to be nice, if you see someone in a turn lane trying to get across a multiple lane street or road, you allow some space in case that they can go through in between the cars before the light changes. Tesla does not care about that. FSD will just go and get into the spot where it needs to, next to the next car in front of it, and not make any additional room available. So it does not mind that, which, in a lot of ways, that kind of nicety or things that you do trying to be helpful sometimes causes more problems when it creates potential traffic issues, or someone gets goes into a situation that gets them in a risky scenario where they might cause an accident. So probably for the best at that kind of thinking. I've always thought that I do it because everybody else does it, and that's the thing. You kind of follow the group. You want to be part of the group as human nature. You know, basically you're built to be that way. But I've always questioned. I was like, this most likely what it saves a little bit of time, possibly, but it causes maybe more issues than it helps in the long term. But you know, just the way you kind of see things happen, so you follow along. All right, that's it. We're here. Done. Gonna get that downloaded, and we'll talk later. Bye.